If you don't mind, I have to stop to pick up my little helper for this homily this morning. This is my little helper this morning. Mom and Dad told me, hold her this way, because she likes to see what is going on. So this is the church from this angle. You probably haven't seen this before. January 22nd, 1973. A black mark in American history, the annals of our great country. That was the day that legalized abortion started. Since January the 22nd, 1973, up to this very moment, and statistically during the course of this Mass, 7 babies will be aborted. But since January the 22nd, 1973, 58 million babies have legally been aborted. That should just leave a pit in your stomach. Now, there have been a lot of attempts, some very valiant efforts. Here. You doing good? Now, there have been some very valiant efforts since that time to stop legalized abortion, but they haven't worked. How do we know that? Because it continues. Do you want to go back to Mom? Nice job. I'll try in a couple minutes. But there have been some great efforts to stop legalized abortion. That hasn't worked. And how do we know that? Because it continues, basically unabated. Now, some years ago, not that long ago, but the Knights of Columbus came up with an idea that I absolutely fell in love with. It is known as the Baby Bottle Campaign. There it is. In the Knights of Columbus, as you leave Mass this morning, we'll be handing out these baby bottles. They're green in color, not that that matters. But here's what we ask you to do. And then I'll tell you what, because what they've come up with, I believe, is a way to stop, not legalize abortion, but a way to stop abortions. Wouldn't that be amazing? And it appears that this is probably going to be the case. I know there'll continue to be efforts to stop legalized abortion. It hasn't worked for 41 years. And on January 22nd, 2015, that'll be the 42nd year. But there are a lot of rules on the books that people don't even pay attention to because we don't need those rules. We don't fall into that category. It is possible one day that in this country we'll still have legalized abortion, but no longer people having abortions. Now, the Baby Bottle Campaign. When you leave Mass this morning, make sure you pick one up. What we're going to ask you to do is this. Just during the course of this week, just drop in some change, drop in some bills, whatever the case might be, and then bring those back next Sunday. Why such a short period of time? Because the project isn't that difficult to fulfill. And if we would give you 2 or 3 weeks to bring back your baby bottle with something inside, well, there's a good chance. We're just humans. There's a good chance you put your baby bottle off to the side of the desk and papers would be placed in front of it and it would rest there for 6, 7, 8, 9 months and no one would benefit by its use. And so that we don't want to occur. So we're giving you just a small window to bring that baby bottle back. So when you bring it back next Sunday, the Knights of Columbus will gather those bottles and they'll deposit the funds. But here's what they're going to do. They do 4 main things with the funds, but the one idea that they do with the funds, I just think is just a stroke of genius. They have been collectively, as an organization, purchasing sonogram machines and placing these sonogram machines in strategic locations, many times trying to get these machines very near abortion clinics. Now, this is a free country. So when a gal who is worried and scared and she doesn't know what to do, and perhaps many folks who are in need of an abortion, at least they think they are, who would favor the abortion, are gals who are really scared. They don't know what to do. And so they realize I perhaps can eliminate that worry by having an abortion. And if the sonogram is next to an abortion clinic, on their way to the clinic, they just might stop over to the location of the sonogram machine and have a sonogram. I want to show you the sonogram of our little angel right here. Here, sweetie. Let's try this again, sweetheart. Let's take a look at her little, there it is. That is her first baby picture. Do you see it? Isn't that beautiful? You like that? When you look at that sonogram machine, you guys have seen these pictures before, maybe of your own son or daughter, maybe your granddaughter or grandson. And when you look at that picture, you can see the body. There's the head and the little stomach. You can see the arm. You can see the little nose. Now, that's her picture. That's her first baby picture. And so what the Knights of Columbus do, they get these sonogram machines placed in strategic locations, and a mom will walk in, perhaps have the sonogram machine, and then decide not to have an abortion. Because when you look at that, you say to yourself, I now know what is inside of me. It now has form, it has shape, it's a human being. There's no way I can walk across the street to abort that. Now, what is absolutely amazing, there's one of these sonogram machines that the Knights of Columbus collectively purchased. It's located up at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP. And there have been 13 confirmed cases where a gal entered the area where the sonogram machine was located, had the sonogram taken, looked at the picture, left the building, and did not go over to have an abortion. 13 confirmed cases. Isn't that amazing? What's really amazing is if you are one of those 13 little babies that exist today, when you get old enough to realize that if mom tells you what could have happened to you and you're enjoying life and you're celebrating life, you're going to say, thank God the Knights of Columbus had that sonogram machine. That's why I'm on the face of this earth. Perhaps we can stop abortions at the decision-making end. It appears that we don't have the collective will because it existed 41 years unabated. And in a country where we elect our elected officials by a simple majority, then if we really didn't want collectively in this country abortion to exist, it should not have existed beyond the first electoral cycle in this country. Should have been eliminated no later than 1977. But 41 years tells us what? The majority of folks in this country want legalized abortion. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it is true because we elect our officials. Will we be able to reverse legalized abortion? I would hope so. I pray so. Hopefully we do what we can to try to make that happen. But all I know is this. This is a great opportunity with the sonogram machines to stop abortions from occurring, despite the fact that legalized abortion might always still be in existence. Now, what the Knights of Columbus want to do, and this I think is just a great idea. The other thing they want to do is purchase a sonogram machine and a van and put the sonogram machine inside of a van to make it a mobile sonogram operation, believing that they can get to more places than just having a stationary sonogram, and they'll keep those at key locations. And if you had a van, you'd be able to go to different areas. What an incredible idea. The other beautiful thing that the Knights of Columbus do with the proceeds is this. When a gal contemplating abortion, and usually those folks who do are typically young, I have no idea the fear, the worry, the concern in the heart of a young gal who feels left alone and abandoned in her life and believes that the only path to take is the path of abortion. Now, we can say obviously that that is wrong, but we are not in her shoes. If you were in her shoes, with perhaps no support from mom or dad, with perhaps no support from the fella who's a biological father, with perhaps no support from those around you. And you say to yourself, I have no idea what I'm going to do. How can I have this baby? How can I raise this baby? How can I feed this baby? And we have an incredible asset in our community called Tri-Life Center. What a great name, Tri-Life. Used to be Tri-City, but now they changed it recently to Tri-Life. What a great idea. What do? What they're saying to these moms is, if you're willing to carry that baby, we'll support you in the process prior to, and once the baby is brought into the world, we will support you as best we can, with what we can, with our assets, so you don't feel abandoned and lonely. So when you take that sonogram and you look at that picture, you say to yourself, but there's a path of support in my local community. And that'll give you the courage and hope, and you'll be able to say to yourself, I'm going to have this baby because I will get the help I need from Tri-Life Center. What a great idea. It is one thing to say you shouldn't have that abortion, and when a gal decides not to, you walk away and offer no support. That's kind of cruel. You need to back up your words and say, have that baby, and once you do, we'll support you as you raise that child. They'll be passing out the baby bottles after Mass. Make sure you take one. Do whatever you can inside of the baby bottle. They're not that large. And then bring it back next Sunday. So hopefully the Knights of Columbus will be able to acquire, without much more delay, that mobile sonogram operation and give more assets to Tri-Life for one reason. Here, sweetie. That little people like this, you and I, everyone in this church this morning, look at that sonogram. We were all that size. We were all at one time, every one of us. Even if you say to yourself, I have to go on a diet, we were at one time all this size. Give all the little ones a chance to live life. If you enjoy life, they deserve a chance at life as well. Give her a little round of applause. What a great job she did, huh?